So capitalism, is it ideas having sex with ideas? That term comes from Matt Ridley, so I'm stealing it, right? He's talking about the Renaissance and Reformation. Everything was really changing. And people were more and more empowered. There were more property rights. People could own things, including their own ideas. Businesses were starting, and there was capital that was available, in terms of maybe nobility having money that said, hey, I'll invest in that. Or just sweat equity. How many businesses even today get started because somebody has an idea and they just work their butt off into a job that is something that sustains them and their family. And there's even Steve Jobs out there. Look, he's not a rich guy, neither was Woz. How do you create a computer company out of whole cloth where they had an idea that was personal computers, not mainframe computers? And they built something. They took it down to the local computer shop, which didn't have a bunch of computers like we think of today. They had Heath kits where you build computers, right? That were, nowhere near what the Apple was. And so he went down. The guy said, yeah, I'll buy 50. And he gave him an invoice, which it's a piece of paper. How do you build 50 computers with a piece of paper? Well, there's a group called factoring groups, and they will take that piece of paper and give you a percentage of the paper's value in real money so you can build something. And that's the way they started their company. Well, there are other companies that get started on private capital or venture capital. There's all kinds of ways to get capital today. But I would tell you, millions of companies get started because of sweat equity, or what Steve Jobs did. I have an idea, and I'll factor this first influence. So capitalism isn't the big daddy warbucks that it used to be in maybe the 1800s, where the rich industrialist is out there, doling out money probably to his friends. That world exists today, but in such minute amounts as to be not very interesting. So is capitalism, connected to ideas a much better thing today? Yeah, and markets, open markets, drive power to you. And how is that? Because you vote. Every day you buy something, you vote for whether a company is going to stay in business. And with the internet, you have such an amazing amount of information to make judgments about what you're going to buy or not. And it's not just from, hey, my friend next door said the Chevy truck is better than the Ford. It's like there's this treasure trove of information to do comparisons, say, maybe this, maybe that. But you are the determiner of who succeeds, and you are the determiner of who fails. And I have to tell you, more than ever, every company in the world that's trying to succeed is trying to listen to you. Because if they do, they know they stay in business. And if they don't, they're done, right? Milton Friedman once said that democracy and capitalism are linked like, Siamese twins in a way. It's because they're both based on voting, right? You vote and vote and vote, right? The bad thing about politics is you vote for people that they're not worried so much about the success of how well government runs or doesn't run. They just want to get reelected, right? They'll say just about anything. And hopefully that'll change over time because it's pretty ugly right now. But in economics, capitalism and ideas are all about success to the exclusion of failure. You're trying to find those products to get rid of, and they're trying to find even better products that you love, right? So is capitalism ideas having sex with ideas? Yes. Does it have some warts? Yeah, we see them on an irregular basis, but we just had one with FTX, the crypto dude down in the I guess Atlantic. Where's the Bahamas? It's what do they call that group? Caribbean. There we go. It's just taking the money and spending it, right? Those companies are found out. And here's the good thing. The corruption like that is a few companies that are in the billions of dollars versus our government, which is a $6 trillion enterprise that regularly doesn't use capital in smart ways, and capital being your tax dollars. The amount of corruption in government is so beyond the amount of corruption in business, it's shocking, right? So ideas having sex with ideas, capitalism, ideas frozen in time, socialism, which one is better? Well, my vote, I'm a capitalist. I'm a free markets guy. I'm a smart government guy, not something we have now. I'm want a best-run government, not a worst-run government. So do I like those ideas better than the frozen types you might keep in the freezer? Of course I do. So if you're voting for over here, but and you're voting for the leftist guy, but you believe in these things, you may be voting against your own future and your kids' future. So vote how you need, but consider one versus other, because those are the approaches that you're getting in general when you vote during the next election. I'm Tom Llewellyn. I'll talk to you next week about property and how each capitalism and socialism treats them.